Very well. Mr. Adelson, I'm going to give you the opportunity to make a statement if you wish. You do not have to speak. However, this is your opportunity if you choose to do so.
I do.
You may stand.
Stand. I would just like to say that I maintain my innocence.
안녕하세요. 쇼킹TV 톰슨입니다. 오늘은 얼마 전에 다룬 댄 마르켈 살인사건이죠. 거기서 유죄 판결을 받았던 찰리 아델슨의 선고 재판 영상입니다. 이 선고 재판은 며칠 전인 12월 12일 오전에 이루어졌으며 스티븐 에버렛 플로리다 제2순회 법원 판사의 담당하에 진행되었습니다. 피고 측에는 피고인 찰리 아델슨, 다니엘 라시바움 변호사가 자리했고 원고 측에는 조지아 캐플먼 주 검사 수석 보좌관과 세라 듀건 검사보가 참석하였습니다. 그리고 이번 영상부터는 재판이 진행되면서 설명이 필요할 때 잠깐씩 다시 돌아오겠습니다.
Judge Stephen Everett presiding. Good morning, everyone can be seated. I'm going to turn on the Zoom, and once I'm logged in, at that point we will move forward. As with all things computers, it needs an update. Let's go ahead and make the appearances while the computer is performing its function.
Georgia Kappelman and Sarah Dugan for the state, Your Honor.
On behalf of Mr. Adelson, who is present.
And we're here this morning for final disposition after jury trial case. Did either the state or the defense have anything they needed to raise concerning the pre-sentence investigation report?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Very well. The pre-sentence investigation report will be filed as a part of the court record. Once the Zoom has finished updating, from there I will open up the Zoom room, and I believe the victims' families were intending to either be present or make additional victim impact statements. Ms. Kappelman?
Yes, sir. We have several members of the family that will be present and one that will be speaking on behalf of the family.
Mr. Rauschbaum, does your client wish to make a statement, or will you be making any argument on behalf of counts 2 and 3?
여기서 말하는 두 번째와 세 번째 죄는 공식적으로 고소장에 접수된 혐의를 뜻합니다. 찰리 아델슨에게 적용되었던 혐의는 첫 번째로 댄 마르켈을 살인한 1급 살인 혐의, 두 번째는 댄 마르켈의 살인을 위한 교사 혐의, 세 번째는 댄 마르켈의 살인을 위한 권유 혐의였습니다. 자세한 내용은 지난번에 다뤘던 댄 마르켈 살인사건 영상을 보시면 되겠군요. 링크는 설명란에 있습니다.
Both of us will be making a very quick statement. I'll make a quick argument, and Mr. Adelson would like to make a very quick statement.
He'll be given the opportunity to do so. First, we will take the victim impact statements.
여기서 말하는 피해자 영향 성명은 피해자 영향 진술이라고 하기도 하는데요. 범죄 피해자나 그 가족이 범죄로 인해 받은 피해의 심각성을 재판에 참여하는 사람들에게 설명하는 진술을 뜻합니다. 보통 지금과 같이 판사가 선고를 내리기 전에 이루어지며 선고에 영향을 미칠 수 있습니다.
If the parties are intending to sign into the Zoom, you may do so. Just make sure your devices are on mute or problems. Good morning, Mr. Markel.
Good morning, sir.
피해자 영향 성명을 하기 위해 원격 화상 프로그램인 줌에 접속하여 말하는 사람은 피해자인 댄 마르켈의 아버지인 필 마르켈입니다. 같은 자리에 피해자의 어머니인 루스 마르켈도 있습니다. 둘은 캐나다 몬트리올에 머물고 있던 관계로 원격으로 접속한 상태입니다.
Good morning. At this time, we are going to start with the victim impact stand. You are going to provide it today on behalf of the family.
Yes, thank you.
You may speak when you're ready.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Phil Markel. I am Dan Markel's father. Dan, my only son, was born October 9, 1972 in Montreal, Quebec. During that time in Quebec, husbands were not allowed to actually be in the delivery room during a child's birth. However, since the obstetrician was a very close friend of ours, I was allowed to experience the most amazing of moments, the birth of my son. I will never forget the emergence of his head, and then those shoulders of an NFL football fullback, a boy of 10 pounds. There I was, holding in my arms this gift of life, my bunny. From the time he was a child, my son had tremendous energy, intelligence, and great warmth. Dan had a vibrant, fun-loving personality and lived life to its fullest. Danny loved to socialize, dance, cook, entertain, and play sports, and dedicated himself wholeheartedly to everything that he did. He always looked to do his utmost to improve and achieve better results in every activity that he did. This desire of improvement and commitment to excellence was a defining character. I fondly remember taking Danny skiing up the hills of the Laurentian Mountains. He rode up the mountain between my legs, holding on to the T-bar, and then coming down the ski hill yelling with great joy, "Faster, Dan, faster!" Then, as he grew a little older, he played hockey at the local park. To improve his skating skills, he requested to take a speed skating lesson with a local coach who was from Russia, and he had a reputation of being a very tough coach. Dan persevered, and after every hockey lesson, he came off the ice with a red face, totally out of breath because he always gave it. At the age of 13, Danny developed the idea that he was going to Harvard University for his college education. He discovered that the acceptance requirements for Harvard were not only good grades, but also work for the community and charitable work. To achieve these goals, he revived his high school's newspaper. He became the newspaper's editor, the business manager, and performed charitable deeds and volunteered in the community. After years of hard work and determination, Dan was accepted to Harvard. He graduated from Harvard magna cum laude, went on to study at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem for 1 year, and then earned a master's in philosophy and political theory from Emmanuel College at the University of Cambridge in England. He returned thereafter to Harvard Law School to earn his law degree, and went on to become an extremely successful lawyer, influential and legal scholar. Dan served as a law clerk for a federal judge, worked as an associate at a prestigious law firm in Washington, D.C., and then secured a prestigious teaching position at FSU College of Law. In a few short years, Dan became a full tenured law at the age of 41, quite unusual. Dan co-authored a book and published many articles in highly regarded law reviews, journals, and newspapers like the New York Times. Dan's work was influential, and he gave lectures and presented at universities around the world. Although Dan was fond of his Canadian roots, he was very dedicated to the FSU Law School and the Tallahassee community. He was recognized as a scholar who contributed and made a difference in the world. While Dan's career was important to him, family meant everything to Dan. Danny's marriage produced 2 boys, Benjamin and Lincoln, the world, and the love of his life. Dan arranged his entire life around these 2 boys. He would arrange his teaching schedule, travel plans, exercise, activities, all around his desire to spend as much time as possible with his 2 boys. He would meet them for breakfast at their preschool. He would sit in the middle of a circle with Benjamin and Lincoln and all the other classmates and tell stories, read or sing songs as they ate breakfast. Benjamin and Lincoln were his pride and joy and meant absolutely everything to him. Dan made sure that he and the boys came to Montreal and Toronto to attend every family affair and visit with all the extended Markel family, including grandparents, uncles, aunts, and many numerous cousins. Despite the distance, Dan felt that the boys had to know and be a part. He also made sure that he and the boys participated in the Tallahassee community. They were involved in the local synagogue and neighborhood. Dan left home at the young age of 17 to go to Harvard, but he always came home for summer vacations, holidays, and all family functions. Danny and I, despite the fact that we lived quite far apart, regularly communicated by text, email, and phone calls. Despite the physical distance, as time moved on, we grew ever so much closer. At Dan's suggestion, we would plan to talk and have a meal together. At the appointed day and time, we each would prepare our meals, set our tables with a tablet in the middle, and over Skype, we would sit together and enjoy each other's company for a couple of hours despite the actual distance. Dan's life was abruptly cut short, and he was forever taken from me, his boys, and the rest of our family, and all his many friends and colleagues. My life has been in total disarray since Dan's murder. Many nights I wake up in the middle of the night in a terrible sweat with thoughts of Dan's murder and all that has happened. There is not a single day in my life since Danny's death that in one way or another he does not enter into my thoughts. And I miss him with all my heart. I'm constantly reminded of Dan's murder and his absence. When I meet new people, the topic of discussion always comes up when they ask whether I have children. How do I respond? It is difficult to put into words the heinous acts that took Danny away from us, the unthinkable pain that I must live with every single day. Losing a son or a daughter is something I wish nobody should have to experience. It's not in the order of nature. Danny continued to hope and pray for justice and the return to normalcy of seeing and playing a vital role in the lives of our two grandsons, Ben and Link. It has been a number of years since I last wrote a impact statement, sharing how Danny's death has affected me. Despite our persistent efforts, we still do not have a real relationship with Danny's sons, Ben and Lincoln.
벤자민과 링컨의 친할아버지인 필 마르켈이 이러한 얘기를 하는 이유는 바로 마르켈법이라는 법 때문이었습니다. 이 법은 댄 마르켈이 살해된 뒤 사건이 진행되면서 도나 아델슨의 행동으로 인해 플로리다에서 만들어졌습니다. 주요한 목적은 이러합니다. 먼저 이 사건을 놓고 쉽게 이해할 수 있도록 예를 들어보겠습니다. 이 사건의 사망 피해자인 댄 마르켈은 살아있을 때 전 아내인 웬디 아델슨과 아이들의 양육권을 놓고 계속해서 분쟁을 벌였습니다. 하지만 이미 50대 50의 양육권으로 결정이 난 상태였죠. 그러던 중 댄 마르켈이 사망함으로 인해 100%의 양육권을 엄마인 웬디 아델슨이 가져가게 되었습니다. 그 후 웬디는 법원을 통해 양육권을 행사하며 댄 마르켈의 부모님인 필 마르켈과 루스 마르켈의 접근 금지 신청을 냈고 그 신청은 받아들여졌습니다. 주 양육권자의 권리였기 때문에 법원에선 딱히 기각할 만한 이유가 없었던 것이죠. 그래서 친조부모인 필과 루스가 손자들을 만나기 위해서는 법원을 통해 방문 신청을 해야 했고 주 양육권자인 웬디의 허가가 떨어져야지만 만나는 게 가능한 일이 되었습니다. 이 문제는 비단 이쪽 집안의 문제가 아니라 플로리다에 거주하고 있는 많은 사람들이 겪고 있는 문제였습니다. 조부모에 대한 양육권은 단 0.1%도 인정해주지 않아 생긴 문제였죠. 그래서 여기서 생긴 법이 마르켈 법입니다. 선고재판이 일어나기 약 1년 6개월 전에 만들어진 마르켈 법은 아이들의 한쪽 부모가 다른 쪽 부모의 사망에 대해 형사상 책임이 있는 것으로 밝혀졌을 때 조부모가 손주들에 대한 양육권을 주장할 수 있게 된다는 법이죠. 정황상으로 보았을 땐 웬디가 이 사건의 주모자라고 해도 부족하지만 아직 기소도 안 된 상태이기 때문에 마르켈 법을 적용시킬 수 없는 상황이죠. 공식적으로 댄 마르켈의 죽음에 대한 책임을 웬디 아델슨에게 물을 수 없기 때문에 마르켈법을 적용시킬 수가 없는 상황이라는 겁니다. 따라서 지금부터 필 마르켈이 하게 될 말은 법을 더 개정시켜달라고 부탁함과 동시에 자신의 섭섭함을 말하려는 목적이 크다고 볼 수 있겠죠. 그럼 계속해서 들어보겠습니다.
Visits are limited and very controlled. For 6 years, we were denied any and all visits with the boys. In the last 2 years, I've been permitted 2 60 to 90 minute visits. This will be painful. And I feel like not only have I lost my son, but I have effectively lost 2 of my grandkids as well. Even their family names have been changed from Markel to Adelson. While we work hard to help introduce a new bill in the state of Florida known as the Markel Act, which gives grandparents important rights, unfortunately, our relationship with Ben Lincoln has not been material and true. As this bill was coming to fruition, there was a lot of negative publicity in the press and media about Danny's ex-wife, Wendy. In my opinion, Wendy was focused on improving her public image, and as a result extended an invitation to us to Ben's bar mitzvah.
먼저 여기서 말하는 바르 미츠바는 13살이 된 남자아이가 치르는 유대교 성년의식입니다. 그리고 웬디 아델슨이 계속해서 거절하다가 언론에서 자신을 비방하는 기사가 계속해서 나오다 보니 이미지를 바꾸기 위해 이 바르 미츠바 행사에 초대장을 보냈다고 했습니다. 이 행동은 매우 중요하다고 볼 수 있습니다. 계속해서 자신의 아들과 댄 마르켈의 부모의 만남을 거절하게 된다면 자신이 그 살인을 사주한 게 맞다는 언론 기사에 딱 들어맞게 되니 액션을 취한 것이라 볼 수 있죠. 그렇지만 이후에 웬디가 보인 행동은 조금 놀라웠습니다. 계속 들어보죠.
Ruth and I were invited to attend only the ceremonial part of this important stage in the Jewish boy's life. And we were not invited to participate in any reception typical of this celebration. But this invitation opened the door to one of the limited visits described above. In order to not overwhelm Ben and Lincoln on this important day, we asked to arrange a meeting before the bar mitzvah in order to make things easier on the boys, who we hadn't been allowed to visit in years. We were able to arrange a brief 90-minute supervised visit with Ben and Lincoln, and a few weeks before the bar mitzvah. However, immediately after our brief visit, Charlie was arrested, and Wendy rescinded our invitation to the bar mitzvah. At the time, she said that they were going to either postpone or completely cancel this bar mitzvah ceremony. Neither of those happened. Excuse me.
Take your time, sir.
Instead, my understanding is that the Adelsons went on to have the bar mitzvah ceremony and party, all without the Markel family's presence or participation.
웬디는 언론의 주목을 받고 있으니 액션을 한번 취했다가 찰리가 체포되었다는 핑계로 미루는 척을 했지만 결국 조부모를 쏙 빼놓고 자기들끼리 그 행사를 진행하였습니다. 보통 교묘한 행위가 아닐 수 없습니다. 최초 보도만 내어놓고 후속 보도를 게을리하는 언론사들의 버릇을 악용한 것이죠. 계속 들어보겠습니다.
Missing out on this important moment in Ben's life was incredibly painful. After so many years without Dan, we had hoped to make progress in forging a consistent relationship with his son. But this still has many challenges. This is the year that Lincoln turns 13, the age of bar mitzvah. As yet, we have not been informed of bar mitzvah, nor if we will be invited to participate in this very important time of Lincoln's life. I have very little hope that we will be allowed to participate in this important life cycle event. Dan's murder brought his life abruptly to an end for no sensible reason and has affected a countless number of people. The legal community is deprived of Dan's wisdom and ideas, which made the world a better place. Dan's students are deprived of the experience of having Dan as a brilliant professor and caring mentor showing them a path. Dan's colleagues can no longer benefit from Dan's friendship, insights, and scholarly discussion and debate. Ruth and I have been deprived of our son, who has been taken away from us so suddenly scheduled. Dan and Lincoln must go through life without their father, who loved them with all his being. The boys have been deprived of their father's entire family after Dan's murder. We have no idea of what these two boys know or have been told about Danny's death. I truly believe that they have been from the ages of 3 and 4 years of age to the present day. I also have no idea what the boys know of us, the entire Markel family, our history, etc., and especially how much we all love them and how we wish they were active part of our family. Both Ruth and I are approaching 80 years of age. At this moment we are healthy, but one does not know what tomorrow brings. The wheels of justice turn very, very slowly, but so far we're very grateful that they're still turning. We're very grateful to Tallahassee law enforcement, to the state attorney and all their staff, to all our relatives and friends, including the hundreds of Danny's friends and colleagues around the world, for their constant support over these long 10 years. To all the podcasters who work hard to keep alive this unbelievable story. We are still waiting for Benjamin Lincoln to have a more normal relationship with the Markel family as we wait in pain and anguish. The Adelson family, in particular Charlie Adelson, has been a major cause of our heartbreak and the murder of our son Danny and the loss of our 2 grandsons. I have suffered tremendously, and we as a family continue to suffer. It is satisfying to see justice being done, and it would be appropriate to ask for the maximum sentence for the perpetrators of Danny's murder. Thank you. Today is a good day.
Thank you, Mr. Markel. Was there anything else that you wish to say as a part of your victim impact?
No, sir.
Ms. Kappelman?
Asking me. The court, as Your Honor, received those and had an opportunity to review them.
I did. I was able to review the letters. They were also a part of the pre-sentence investigation packet, which will be filed in the court file as well.
Yes, sir. Nothing further regarding victim impact.
What is the state's argument with regard to sentence, at least as it concerns counts 2 and 3?
In regards to counts 2 and 3, Your Honor, we are seeking the maximum sentence. We're asking for consecutive 30-year sentences on both of those. I have prepared a score sheet in reference to those. May I approach?
You may. Have you already showed the score sheet to Mr. Rushbaugh?
I think so, but I'll...
Yes.
Thank you. Does the state have any further presentation to make?
The only other matter, Your Honor, is that in reference to costs of prosecution, we've been attempting to gather up some of the necessary financial paperwork from the FBI and TPD and my office as well to see if we can come to an agreement with the defense on what costs of prosecution should be ordered in this case. We have not been able to do that yet, so I would ask for Your Honor to reserve that issue for 90 days. It's possible, as I said, we can reach an agreement on it, but if not, I would ask for a hearing sometime around 90 days to make a determination about costs of prosecution.
Mr. Rauschbaum, do you have any argument to make on behalf of your client as to counts 2 or 3?
Judge, we understand the situation. We just ask that those counts be run concurrently.
라시바운 변호사가 동시에 진행시켜달라는 요청은 2번 죄인 살인교사죄와 3번 죄인 살인권유죄를 합쳐달라는 뜻입니다. 법정 최고형인 30년형이 각각 따로 선고된다면 60년형이 되겠지만 합쳐지게 되면 30년형만 살게 되겠죠. 그럼 계속 보겠습니다.
Very well. Mr. Adelson, I'm going to give you the opportunity to make a statement if you wish. You do not have to speak. However, this is your opportunity if you choose to do so.
I do.
You may stand.
Same. I would just like to say that I maintain my innocence.
아마 여기서 정말 죄송합니다. 유족에게 깊은 사과를 드립니다와 같은 뉘우치는 모습을 보였다면 아마 변호사가 했던 요청이 먹혔을지도 모릅니다. 하지만 저런 태도는 선고에 악영향만 줄 뿐이죠.
Well, please rise. I'm now going to pronounce the sentence. With the jury having found you guilty of all 3 counts that you were charged with in your indictment of first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and solicitation to commit first-degree murder, I am going to adjudicate you guilty of all 3 at this time, and you are going to be sentenced as follows. As to count 1, the first-degree murder count pursuant to section 782.04 and 775.082 Florida statutes, you are sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of release or parole. As to count 2, you are going to be sentenced consecutively to 30 years in the Department of Corrections for conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. As to count 3, you are going to be sentenced to 30 years in the Department of Corrections consecutively for solicitation to commit first-degree murder.
결백을 주장한다고 말했을 때 판사의 대답은 이랬었죠. Well, 좋아요. 이렇게 번역을 하였지만 제가 봤을 땐 판사의 속마음은 글쎄 가 아니었을까 싶네요. 따라서 변호사의 요청이 기각되어 이러한 법정 최고형이 선고되었습니다. 그럼 이후에는 어떻게 진행되는지 지켜볼까요?
The credit for time served that applies in this matter is how much?
597.
597 days will be applied as credit for time served in this case. If the clerk could please read all fees and costs that would apply as well.
여기서 말하는 복역 경과일 597일은 체포된 후 선고를 받기 전까지 구금된 기간을 말합니다. 이 기간만큼은 선고를 받은 형에서 감형되죠. 하지만 어차피 가석방이 없는 종신형 플러스 60년이라 큰 의미는 없겠군요.
$2,100 of the fine pursuant to Florida Statute 775.083, $105 of the 5% surcharge required by Florida Statute 938.04, $20 of the court cost pursuant to Florida Statute 938.06, Crime Stopper Trust Fund, $3 of the court cost pursuant to Florida Statute 938.01, subsection 1, Criminal Justice Trust Fund, $50 pursuant to Florida Statute 938.03, Crimes Compensation Trust Fund, $225 pursuant to Florida Statute 938.05, Local Government Criminal Justice Trust Fund, $2 of the court cost pursuant to Florida Statute 938.15, County Criminal Justice Education, County Code 7-26, $50 of the court cost pursuant to Florida Statute 775.083, subsection 2, County Crime Prevention, $3 of the court cost pursuant to Florida Statute 938.19, Teen Court Assessment, New York County Florida Code 7-28, $65 of the court cost pursuant to Florida Statute 939.185, County Additional Court Cost, County Code 7-24, with a total of $2,623.
Mr. Rashbaum, is there any lawful objection for you to raise to the assessment as announced by the clerk?
No, Your Honor.
Those amounts will be assessed at this time. Ms. Kappelman, I will reserve 90 days of jurisdiction to address the cost of prosecution in this case. By statute, the state is entitled to the 100, but this is in excess of the 100 is what you're referring to.
Yes, Your Honor.
여기서 판사가 말한 것은 아까 캐플먼 검사가 요청한 사항에 따른 것입니다. 기소에 소요된 비용을 패소한 피고 측에 청구하겠다며 간략한 청구 서류를 제출하였지만 그 금액이 $100가 채 되지 않아 보류시키겠다는 것이죠. 플로리다 법령 중 938.27조 8항에 따르면 검사 시의 비용은 모든 경우에 경범죄 또는 교통범죄의 경우 사건당 $50 이상, 중범죄의 경우 사건당 $100 이상으로 설정하여야 하죠. 그래서 스티븐 판사의 말은 아직 미비된 서류에 따르면 $100가 되지 않았기 때문에 청구할 수 없고 다시 서류를 준비해서 제출하라는 뜻이었습니다.
Very well. 30 days to appeal both your conviction and now your sentence. Mr. Adelson, you are going to be fingerprinted today, and from here you are going to be sent to the Department of Corrections to begin serving your sentence. Mr. Rauschbaum, if you please, can timely file the notice of appeal so that way there is no issues regarding any review of the conviction itself. Does either party have anything further to raise to the court before we finish for today?
Nothing from the state.
No, Your Honor.
We are in recess. Mr. and Mrs. Markel, have a good day. Thank you for being available so you can provide your victim impact statements. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Cheyenne, you can take this. This is the pre-sentence investigation information. Two count one.
이렇게 찰리 아델슨은 죽을 때까지 감옥에서 나올 수 없게 되었군요. 이제 남은 사람은 재판을 기다리고 있는 도나 아델슨과 이 사건의 중심에 있는 웬디 아델슨이네요. 빨리 재판이 진행되었으면 좋겠네요. 이번 찰리 아델슨의 선고 재판을 흥미롭게 보셨다면 좋아요와 구독을 눌러주셨으면 좋겠네요. 다음엔 더욱 흥미로운 사건으로 다시 찾아뵙겠습니다. 저는 쇼킹TV 톰슨이었습니다. 감사합니다. 안녕하세요. 제가 다룬 사건들을 시청해주신 많은 분들께 감사 말씀 드리고자 나왔습니다. 그리고 특히 후원을 해주신 몇 분이 계셔서 감사 말씀을 따로 드리고자 합니다. 먼저 경일방님께서 7,500원을 후원해주셨네요. 언제나 감사드립니다 라는 좋은 말씀과 윙크까지 남겨주셨네요. 프로필은 키우고 계시는 고양이인 듯한데 하품하고 있는 건가요? 감사합니다. 다음으로 저스트제이님께서 호주에서 $50를 후원해주셨군요. 정말 감사히 신청하겠습니다 라고 해주셨는데 시청이라는 말씀을 신청이라고 해주신 걸까요? 그렇다면 제가 더 감사드리겠습니다. 호주는 지금 따뜻하다고 생각하니 부럽군요. 여긴 지금 한방눈이 내리고 있거든요. 다음으로 제 채널의 팬이신 김우주님께서 5,000원을 후원해주셨습니다. 감사해볼게요 라고 해주셨네요. 그냥 편하게 봐주셔도 좋습니다. 언제나 감사합니다. 팬인 김우주님. 그럼 저는 다음에 다른 사건과 함께 돌아오도록 하겠습니다. 모두 감사합니다.